7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Manchester United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Well, good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? I'm guessing you sound better than I do. But Manchester United League Cup winners 2023. Erik Ten Hag has won his first trophy. Yes, I'm a little bit hungover. Yes, I lost my wallet at Wembley. RIP my wallet. Yes, my voice still does not particularly sound very good. I'm bruised. I'm a bit broken. But I'm happy. I'm so happy. What a day that was yesterday. I'm looking forward to this stream this morning. I'm sure you are too. It's what was it like? Just over 2,100 days, I think it was, between that League Cup final in 2017 and this League Cup final this year. But can we just begin this stream? I'll go down here. I'll go to the comments. But that photo there, superb, incredible. I called it instantly iconic, and that's exactly what it was. Sir Alex there with Erik Ten Hag, and I tell you what, Sir Alex must find, after watching what he's watched at Man United over the last 10 years, he must be thinking, you know what? Finally, I think the club is in the right hands. I think that must be something that he's thinking. It's certainly what I'm thinking. It's certainly what you're thinking in the comments. Who's down here? Good morning to everybody. Hands up who has a hangover. Hands in the air here, my word. Mixie Tubes, good morning to you. Paula, Nishant, Derek, I can see you there. Darren Lee Trainer on Facebook, you said you got that photo all over my Instagram account. Everybody should have that photo. Josh, you're there too. T, we've got Kent, we've got Paul, we've got Garfield. There are so many of you joining in this morning, and it's going to be a really good show. I'll tell you what the show is all about today. We're going to run through plenty of photos, plenty of conversations around Erik Ten Hag. Unbelievable, that. And then we're going to be speaking about the player ratings, going to bring the player ratings back, because it's so different when you watch a game in the stadium to when you watch it on the TV in terms of how you can understand players' performances. I don't even think I really spoke about Wan-Bissaka in the post-match reaction, which is really unfair because he was fantastic. But we're going to run through the play ratings a little bit later in the show and just as a community speak about what we saw yesterday. It was fantastic. Thank you very much to Ray. You've just sent me in a super chat there, buddy. What are you saying? Yes, Sam. Ten Hag loves it. He will be back. And you know what? Look at this, man. What more could you ask for in a quote from Erik Ten Hag after the game? This is the club for me. I love Manchester United. Right, let me pull this up here, so I don't want to miss anything in the stream this morning. I apologize if I'm not completely with it. I'm very much... I'm half asleep. I don't know what's wrong with me. Dave Davis, thank you, dude, sending a super chat. What are you saying? Hey, Sam, they must make an exception this year and award the Sir Matt Busby Trophy to both Casemiro and Martinez. Different roles, but both Titans. I like that, calling them Titans. And I will be speaking about the individuals and the players a little bit later in the show, but Erik Ten Hag, man, I'm going back to that photo because I love that photo so much. Remember where we were. So I did my video that went out on Saturday morning, the transformation video. Just the work that he has done. It seemed impossible. It seemed certainly implausible, massively implausible, highly unlikely from where we were at the end of last season in that 1-0 defeat to Crystal Palace to where we are now in such a short space of time. The whole mindset has switched. The signings have made a massive difference to that. Casemiro, Martinez, Anthony, Eriksen, all of them. But they're all coming. They're all coming. It's all coming from Erik Ten Hag. His mindset, his mentality. And Jonathan, you need 2 paracetamols and 2 matchsticks to keep your eyes open. I need more than that. I've already had cereal and toast. You know, that's a problem when you have a double breakfast and it still didn't hit the spot. Garlic, you're saying that. Thank you very much, dude. Send a super chat. You all remember that meme with Michael Scott smiling with tears in his eyes? That was me all the time watching United yesterday. Just United yesterday. I'll tell you one thing. It was wicked to be there. I loved being there, seeing Just seeing all my United mates, seeing all the lads from the podcast, Neil and Bao and Matt and Alex, everybody, by the way, if you'd like to, I really would recommend listening to the podcast this week. I don't have the link here. So if any mod, if you can pop the link to the podcast in the comments, that would really be a help. It's a short 17-minute podcast, but I think you'll enjoy it. It's the story of the day. I love doing it. There's a super chat there from Spence. You're saying, Sam, get yourself a Barocca and a bacon sandwich. I don't know what I want. I'm going to eat all the food today. All the food. Tim Arnold saying, Ten Hag dancing pitch side. That was one of my favorite photos. Where is it? Is that it there? Recreating that dance from Ajax. Oh, that was funny. I think you saw Roy Keane after the game going, he should resign. He was joking, of course. Biswa, you're saying, Sam, your match reaction was class. Yeah, I forgot I kissed the camera. Hey, look, I apologize about the quality of it and how long it took, but the signal there is absolutely abysmal. From like a fan experience point of view, Wembley, I don't know what was going on at Wembley yesterday. It took a long time to get in. I know people that didn't get in before kickoff. I'm guessing they had increased the stewarding after the Euro final when so many people jibbed in. It was long. And by the way, where's this photo? Let me pull this photo up here. For the self-proclaimed best fans in the world, those Geordies were mighty, mighty quiet yesterday. Mighty, mighty quiet. They really were. Very good at waving flags at the end. Incredibly good at waving flags. Pretty damn quiet for the majority of the game. Odd behavior, really. Odd behavior indeed. Or thank you very much for a super chat, dude. You're saying, Sam, you should get the lads from the podcast on a special stream. That kiss was like a movie from a horror scene. It probably was. Sorry about that. I enjoyed it. It was great. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure that was rail seating where we was. I was standing up the whole game anyway. It was far more enjoyable. See the Newcastle fans give up. Well, it was odd behavior from them. Look, with Erik ten Hag, right? Let's just take some time here to have a conversation, a proper conversation about Erik ten Hag. You fire in your comments, any remarks, I suppose, you've got about his first 9 months, because that's the trophy there. That's the first trophy won. And the first trophy, is it the most important trophy? It's the marker. It's proof. It's proof that all of that hard work and graft and discipline and everything that has been happening to this point with these players. And look, I'm sure they've all found it pretty difficult, but the proof is in the pudding. The proof is right there. You cannot succeed in life without sacrificing. It's just not possible. It's part and parcel of what success is. For you to achieve something that's difficult, that so many other people are going to want to be achieving as well, you're going to have to make a few sacrifices if you want to get there, if you really want to get there. And I think that's happened at United this season. Ten Hag has been the disciplinarian on and off the pitch. And look at what happened after the game. I think this sums up Erik ten Hag perfectly, and I mean that as the greatest compliment. This is on The Athletic. This is Laurie Whitwell's summary of the game. He said, Manchester United had a beer in the dressing room. I had more than one, not in the dressing room. They had a beer in the dressing room, and Sancho walked out of Wembley carrying a sound speaker the size of a holdall, blasting out music. But there were no major celebrations. Everyone was boarded on a flight from Luton by 10:15 p.m., ready to fly back to Manchester for training on Monday, with attention already turning to Wednesday's FA Cup tie against West Ham. Staff have been at pains to stress that while Ten Hag may have become only the second manager in history to win a trophy in his first season after Mourinho, this was no moment for garlands. Indeed, beforehand, the occasion was just treated like a routine away game. That there absolutely sums up this man, Erik ten Hag. Have a beer, enjoy it, but focus. And I was going to bring this up towards the end of the show, but I'll tell you what, I'll bring this up right now. Just take a look at this, all right? Manchester United's results in February. Nottingham Forest, 2-0 winners, beating Palace 2-1. Drew against Leeds 2-2. And we beat them away 4 days later 2-0. Drawing away at the new camp, we could have and maybe should have won that game 2-2. 3-0 winners against Leicester, beating Barcelona at Old Trafford and winning the League Cup final. In every single game, we scored 2 or more goals. We won 6 and we drew 2 in a month where we played Barcelona twice and had a League Cup final. I don't know how. I genuinely don't know how. In his first season. Yep, Sam, that's a good point. That's a good one down there. Satisfaction turns to laziness. There are some... He almost speaks like a motivational speaker sometimes, but not in a sort of condescending fashion, in a way that clearly works with these players, clearly gets these players on board and heading in the right direction. There's a few... man, look at the community, man. Thank you, every single one of you. I'm Potato. It's a great name. I love potatoes. You've gifted 10 memberships. Mania, you've gifted 10 memberships. And Teresa, you've gifted 10. But wow, man. Ibrahim, thank you indeed, man. 50. This is almost happening. It's like a weekly occurrence now. I can't get my head around it. I can't thank you all enough. Yesterday, to be there at Wembley was special. And what we're seeing right now with this team, with this fan base, with this community, man, is special. 50 gifted memberships there from Ibrahim. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you to everybody. I say it every single week. I really, really do. This is the best community ever. I love you all, man. I always say at this point, just so you know where these gifted memberships, where your generosity is going, I'm going to be building a website. That's going to be good. I'll tell you what, actually, by the way, that right there, that's the scarf, the replica scarf. I'm going to give that away to a member. I'm not really sure how. I'll figure that out this week, but I'm definitely going to give that. That's the replica scarf from Wembley. So you can get yourself a little piece of memorabilia from the game. I thought that would be a cool thing to give away to someone in the community. I'll figure that out. I'm not sure how. Anybody's got any ideas, you let me know on Telegram for the best method to do that. But look at that, man. Incredible generosity from all of you. There's so many good photos from yesterday. Let's start running through some of them. Look at that. Erik ten Hag lifting the trophy. Lifting the trophy, man. That's cool. And look, right, if we speak about so many important things that Erik ten Hag has got right, signings has been... I don't think Ten Hag would have been able to achieve what he has achieved without his new signings. Without Casemiro, without Martinez. And I'm not just talking about the fact that they are our best players, which is obviously a significant part of it. But they have been the stewards of his mentality. Some of them have played with him before, but he's brought players in because they fit a profile and a specific profile. And they are the players who are able to get Ten Hag's ideas across on the pitch. They are the examples of what Ten Hag wants. Bruno Fernandes, he's always spoken about Bruno Fernandes and how Bruno Fernandes he sees a lot of his own personality in Bruno. Ten Hag says that. And there are so many different players in this squad now. Everyone's just playing for Erik. They are following his methods, and it pays off. As I said, it might be hard graft, but you get to lift a trophy at the end of it. What do you want? Do you want an easy, comfortable life like United players have had for these last however many years? Feet up, lazy boy, cold beer in the side. Or do you want to succeed and achieve? Because if you do, you're going to have to work for it. You really are. Dylan, thank you very much, dude, for sending in a super sticker. And I'm Potato saying I'm off work so I can watch live for once. Well, mate, thank you very much for watching. And thank you very much for gifting those memberships. Absolute legend, dude. Or thank you for sending a super chat, dude. What are you saying? I'm genuinely thinking missing out on Timber was a blessing in disguise for this club. Because, of course, about that, man. Look at that photo. That photo there, man. What else are you saying there? Martinez has been a revelation and a true leader of many in the club, mate. I have no idea how you. If right now you had to choose Manchester United's player of the season, I think Casemiro would win it, but it would be tough. It would be tough, and I think there are genuine arguments to be had about quite a few of these United players to be our player of the season. Ali, you're saying, look, as much as we are celebrating, let's not lose focus on the story of the Glazers wanting more money to sell. I'm not going to be speaking about that in this morning's stream. I know that might be slightly unusual for me, given, what my feelings are, but I want to focus on this final. And as soon as we get the stream out of the way, then we head back and we're like Erik ten Hag. Straight back in training, straight back in focusing. But for this stream here, I can't be asked to speak about those wet rats. I really can't be bothered. He was at the stadium yesterday. United fans made it very... well, of course we did. Even when we're 2-0 up, we're still singing and screaming that we want them out. We want them out. They are just the greediest of greedy. They really are. Yes, the menace. Thank you, dude. You're sending this. You're welcome, Ajax fan. Honestly, Ajax. Thank you so much. All three of them. All three of them. Amy, you're saying Weghorst taken in the moment was really emotional for me. I was going to speak about that later in the show, but let me pull this one up now just because you've mentioned it there, Amy. Let me get the right photo. There it is there. Weghorst going for the for the Patrice Evra look, wrapping the scarf around his head in the celebrations. And this is what you're talking about there, Amy, sorry. Let me pull this up here. Weghorst saying this after, he goes, I took a moment there at the end, and that was the greatest moment of the evening. And just him sitting there, staring up at Wembley. I tell you what, I loved it there. I thought the United end was superb, non-stop. I think we mentioned Shearer a few too many times, but I tell you what, Shearer does need to cheer up. He really does. Weghorst, man, assist. You got an assist. I'm bored to the back teeth now of trying to have a feeling like I have to defend Wout Weghorst. He was a very smart signing for what we needed in the January transfer window, and he's now come up there in a cup final and got an assist, direct contribution to a goal. He is part of this team. That's what I mean. We are building a team. A team is not necessarily your best 11 players on the pitch at any given moment. That's not necessarily what makes the best team. And Weghorst is somebody who very much is a team player. I think he allows other people around him space, time. He does a lot of the legwork physically. He's a good signing, man. He really, really is. Ronald, I said it after, I think it was after the Barcelona game where I had the confidence to say that we are back. But I suppose United aren't back until we lift in silverware. And still there will be people saying, man, United are not back until we win the Premier League or the Champions League. But you have to, in the same way you can only beat the team that's in front of you, you can only win the cup finals you're in. But this is the first of what could be four this year. I don't think it will be four this year. But it could be. Man United, after we knocked out Barca, we've got every confidence of beating every team in that competition now. We've got West Ham in the FA Cup 5th round on Wednesday. We'll have every confidence of dismissing a West Ham team that's in the relegation zone. Going to have some serious rotation there because what happens on Sunday? Oh, I tell you what. I hope we pump Liverpool at Anfield. I hope we pump Liverpool so bad at Anfield that Jurgen Klopp just breaks down in tears. I want that so bad. After last season, after the 9-0 in aggregate, where they currently are, where we currently are, with this man in charge, I want that so bad. But anyway, we can't focus on the Liverpool game. We've got another game in between, and we've got so much to talk about. Protosaurus Rex, thank you, dude, for sending a super chat. You're saying the achievement is amazing, considering between the 27th of December and now, United have played 18 games. City have played 15 and Arsenal have played 12 in that same time. And it is just a spectacular achievement. In excess of any sort of reasonable expectation. That's what I would describe Manchester United's season so far. And there's still so much more to come. It's the 27th of Feb. This point last season, I think our season was pretty much done and dusted, wasn't it? It was done. It was game over. Man, I love Erik ten Hag, man. I absolutely love Erik ten Hag, what he's done and what he's done with these players. And I tell you what, I can't believe it's taken 20 minutes for me to start really speaking about this bloke, but I'm absolutely going to. In a second, let me quickly thank some more people, man. Max, and I'm going to tell you again, wow, man, 20 gifted memberships from you today, dude, and Max, 10 from you. All of this is going to go towards this new website I'm going to be building for the community. It's going to be going towards, what else? I'm going to be bringing on a community manager. How cool is that? Because this community is so good, so unique. I want to give it the focus and attention it deserves. And I need somebody else to help me make that happen. But your gifted memberships, you're all helping this happen. Love you all, man. Love you all. Nicole, you're saying, look, I'm so excited for the future. It's just the start. We all are, Nicole. And it's just, this feels like United, doesn't it? This feels more like United. Sam, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Because I think when it comes to manager of the season, it's easy to just say, okay, you give it to the manager that's won the league, right? Because technically that manager was the best manager in the league. But there's also conversations to be had around expectations versus achievements. And expectations of where Erik ten Hag what he was expected to do this year compared to what we have done, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And there's still so much more to do. Grant Napier, thank you very much for sending a super sticker, dude. Let me go and read a few more of your comments out down there. Hafiz just saying the same. I'm saying the same thing, man. I can't wait. Liverpool must be not particularly happy at playing Manchester United at this point. They'll be happy at this Anfield. But look, let's speak about this man himself. All right. Because I could do another video on Erik ten Hag today about, and maybe I will. But I kind of feel like I want to do a video on this man. And I kind of feel that this needs to be played again. I'm going to make an updated version of this for the video I'm going to do this afternoon. But just remember this.
You're getting a steady Eddie. He plays where I used to play, and obviously I'm going to talk up that position. I think there's a lot of work that maybe the untrained eye doesn't see, filling spaces, preventing passes into his two central defenders behind him. But I don't think he was playing with great players. He's not a great player. He's never been a great player. I see him as being a steady Eddie who will help United be more solid in the midfield. I don't think he's got any great range of passing. I don't think he's going to make other people play. The Real Madrid team, in that midfield especially, that was full of footballing types. I see him as being a steady Eddie, and that's
a steady Eddie. 70 million plus for a steady Eddie.
Well, I come back. He's 30 years old, and it's 70 million. about 60 with add-ons going to 70. Too much money. It's Man United all over again. Man United will pay a premium for players. It's Man United and it's the Premier League, and people know it's a wash with money. But I don't see him make them any better when they have the ball.
Oh wow! Man, that video is golden. I love that music. It just makes me smile every single time. Graham Souness just needs to retire. But Graham Souness representing the fashionable thing of trying to speak in absolutes. I told you it's something I don't like when it comes to media and online, just media. Oh, Casemiro. Oh, he's never going to work at Manchester United before he's even kicked a ball. The guy is an utter revelation. Casemiro has, I don't know how to really describe it. He really is Roy Keane. The reason what made Roy Keane such an incredible player for Manchester United wasn't just how good a captain he was. It wasn't just how good a passer he was, or how good a tackler he was, or how he popped up with the occasional important goal as well. It was absolutely everything wrapped into one. That's what Roy Keane was. And that's what Casemiro is. He's not a defensive midfielder, right? we can all agree on that now. We all thought we were signing a defensive midfielder, but we haven't. We've signed an absolutely all-rounded, world-class midfielder in Casemiro. Now, you can let me know what you think in the comments. I'll pull a few of your comments up on screen. There's a couple of super chats. I don't want to be missing these. Garlic Bread, man, thank you, man. You're saying, I sent this before today, but again, we need a chant for Casemiro, holding out to the tune, holding out for a hero by Bonnie Tyler. Well, get in the stands, start singing it, and see if people start jumping on with you. Suki, you're saying Veghorst is underrated. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. And Max B, dude, thank you very much, man, for the super chat. You're saying, if you need help with the website, let me know. Slide into my DMs. I'm already speaking with Alex. He's going to help. Hopefully, Squarespace will reply to my email. I want to make the best community website ever. We can, I don't know, we can make like quizzes. We can do interactive stuff on there. There's so much more you can do with a website that you can't do anywhere else. Having run a website before, I know how to do it, but I could do with some help from the community members. So, Max, if you want to help, slide into my DMs. I'd love to get some help in it. Jay, nice to see you there rejoining as a member. Jonathan, I was singing this in the stand yesterday. I was absolutely loving it. Casemiro, dude. Casemiro. Let me see what you're saying down here. Even Brazil players felt that he wouldn't work out. You know, I don't care what anybody else thinks. It's just these two, right? These two together. We've been stung before, haven't we? Let's be honest. We've been stung with big money signings who we might think they might be over the hill. They might just be coming to United for a payday. But Casemiro, yesterday, and I said this in my match reaction. I was sober enough to realize this. Man United there going into the last 25 minutes of the game. Erik ten Hag did what he hasn't typically done in these sorts of games. He brought on Sabitzer and McTominay. He could have brought on Garnacho and Sancho, gave United more attacking impetus, but he saw that Newcastle was starting to get a bit of a stranglehold in the game. So we said, no, sod that. He put in more in midfield. Sabitzer, I thought, made a big difference in midfield. He really did. Cracking signing he was in again, emergency signing, but a very good signing. Because even in panic situations, if you've done enough research, you can make good panic buys. Veghorst, no, maybe not panic buys. Casemiro was. No, not Casemiro, sorry. Sabitzer was after the Eriksen injury. But we even managed to get that right. Just love what's going on at this football club at this moment in time, man. Every single fibre of it. And off the pitch as well. We're heading towards new owners. Imagine that. So many years in the shadows we've had as a club. Really starting to come out into the light. Oh, man, thank you very much, dude. Jay, you just gifted down 10 memberships down. I don't know how many memberships again. Des, somebody there. Sorry, not somebody there. Des, you've just mentioned it. Now, I didn't mention this in my match reaction. I've got to be completely honest. I absolutely should have, because look at that for a stat. Despite only coming on at half-time, Wan-Bissaka made the most tackles of any player. 7 tackles in 45 minutes. And that is the most in a League Cup final since Kante in 2019. Presumably, yeah, look, 7 tackles in 120 minutes. Wan-Bissaka yesterday, of all the players I've written off, Wan-Bissaka is definitely the one I've got egg on my face about. For sure. I'm eating humble pie 24/7 over Wan-Bissaka. I completely dismissed the concept of him succeeding in a Ten Hag system. I thought he was like the antithesis of that style of player. But in that situation where United needed to make sure our defense was watertight, Wan-Bissaka came up with the goods, man. That's what I mean. You're allowed to make mistakes. You can make mistakes with opinions on players. But when they prove you wrong, I don't know, what's the right word? Just admit your mistakes. Graham Souness, nah, still not really calling Casemiro a great player. It's that, man, Wan-Bissaka, absolutely superb. What we're going to do now as a community, we're going to do player ratings from yesterday, because I actually need to know how you think the players played. Matthew, let me know where you're watching from, dude. You joined as a member. Making sure I haven't missed anything down there. No. Vicky, you're saying, what does Varane have to do for his own video? At some point, Vicky, I'm really going to have to, aren't I? Because I think I said that. It feels like I've I've not been dismissive of Varane, but I've been more. I don't know. I do find that Casemiro and Martinez, their performance is more eye-catching. No, that's not to say that Varane's playing any worse, but maybe it's just kind of what I expect of Varane. Varane is just calm. Well, he just makes it look so easy, doesn't he? Makes it look so easy. And I tell you what, he's maintaining his fitness. And everyone touch wood. Just please stay fit, Varane. Please stay fit, man. Rebecca, you sound very croaky. I listened to my match reaction yesterday. It doesn't even sound like me. I don't know what that is about. I actually feel less hungover than I did at the start of the video. That's a good thing. Tim, you're saying you think we're all blown away by Wan-Bissaka. I think we all were, man. It was just fair play to Wan-Bissaka. We'll run through the play ratings now. Alex, man, thank you, dude. Gifted 10 memberships, and you're going to be helping, hopefully, get the website done. What a massive part of the community you are, dude. A couple of not super chats, just comments here. Raphael Varane's been spectacular all season. He really has. He really, really has. And as I said, I don't think that I gave him enough credit. Big shout. There's quite a few people who have said this. I think Neil even said it to me when I was doing the match reaction. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realize I was going to kiss the camera. But, cup final. It happens. Let's bring up the player ratings, though, right? Everybody who hasn't joined in one of these, this will be you'll enjoy this next 10 minutes. You let me know in the comments. You just type a rating out of 10. How do you think David De Gea played yesterday? I believe, I might be wrong. You can let me know. I believe that now means that David De Gea is our all-time clean sheets leader, I think. Is that right? Because I'm pretty sure he equaled it. What was it? Early this month? Can't remember against who. Leicester? I think it was against Leicester where he equaled it. I think that now means that he has kept more clean sheets for Manchester United than any other player in history. I think. I might be wrong. There's a super chat there. Let me not miss out. Oh, man. If I could show you how many people are engaging in this point, it's amazing. I love this. Kyle, you're saying Martinez, Varane, and Casemiro are like the Bermuda Triangle. As soon as a 4 goes in there, they disappear. You've been banking that one, Kyle. And now's the time to pull it out. I like that, the Bermuda Triangle. Right, let me see what you think about Dave's performance, right? Karen, you're going for 8. Anty, you're going for 7, 7.5. Going for a straight 9. Nate, no, 7, 9, 7, 9, 9. I think I go for a 7. There was one point where David De Gea was a sweeper keeper. David De Gea ran out of his box, closed down Newcastle. Thought he played well, kept a clean sheet. Can't say much more. 7. There you go. In form and stayed that way. Best first save. There's no point in reading that. But Andy Mitten, by the way, these are Andy Mitten's play ratings over on the national news. He's given him a 7. What about Diogo Dalot? I don't particularly think that Diogo Dalot had the strongest of games. I think the fact that he started was Ten Hag's way of showing that he wanted to be proactive. He wanted to be on the ball. He wanted United to go forward because we know full well, by comparison, Wan-Bissaka and Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot has got more attacking ability. But I have to admit, if I'm looking at the threat that Newcastle had in that first half, the majority of the threat they had the whole game was coming because of Saint-Maximin. He's just a very, very good dribbler. That's not really a slight on Dalot. Saint-Maximin's been doing that pretty much all season against any player he's played against. But he definitely gave Dalot a hard time to the point where he was taken off at halftime. Let me see what you're saying down here. 6, not great, not bad. 6.5, 6, 5, 7, 7, 6, 6. I think, yeah, to fair that early booking, yeah, it's hard. Certainly if you're playing against Saint-Maximin and you're on a yellow from the 5th? Was it 5th? 5 minutes? Something like that? I'd probably give him a 6. I think that's a fair number. 5. There you go. Booked after the 9th minute. I think 5's a little bit harsh, but I can understand it. Right, let's move on because there's going to be some big numbers coming up here. There's the man himself that we just had a big old conversation about, Raphael Varane. Was that Raphael Varane's best performance in a United shirt? It's got to be right up there because all season long, Newcastle have been a massive threat from the set piece. I kept saying it to everyone that I was standing next to. I was like, if Newcastle are going to score, they're going to score from a set piece. Yet, everything that came into the box went out of the box. Varane, Martinez, second half, Wan-Bissaka. Sure. Defensively, we stood up to the test yesterday. And Varane was a big, big part of that. Let me see what you're saying down here in the comments. 9, we're going for a straight 10. El Rooney are going for a straight 12. Patrick, you're going for a 9, an 8, 8.5, a 9, an 8, 8, 9. What would I go for? I think I'll probably go for a 9 personally. I think I'll go for a 9. Let's see what Andy Mitten's giving him. He's gone for an 8. 8, 9. Either way, he absolutely was fantastic yesterday, as was his partner and my boy, who I feel like I'm slightly cheating on now because of how good Casemiro's getting. Or not getting, has been all season. Martinez. What would you give Martinez out of 10? Because I think he was absolutely right there on par with Varane. Do you think either of them played better than the other? I just think it was a perfect partnership. Like we are really now, we are looking at our modern day version of Vidic and Ferdinand, aren't we? Two very different styles of defenders that just slot together to make a partnership. Vidic and Ferdinand, we know what that was. It was the Ferdinand was so good at bringing the ball out from the back, so good at There is a lot of similarities between Ferdinand and Varane, and then Vidic and Martin. You can just see why it works. You can see why it works. So someone down there keeps spamming the same comment. Stop spamming the same comment. Was it Toshiba? I'm not answering that. You send it like 4 times. Your comment's not more important than other people's. So I'm going to ignore you. Right, let me see what you're saying down here. Jap, you're going for a 10. You're going for a 9. You're going for a 9. You're going for a 10, 9. Woo! Took a headbutt and the Newcastle player came off worse. Varane, you're going for an 8, 10, 10. I personally, again, if I'm going to give Varane a 9, I would go for Martinez with a 9. That's what I think. So anyway, again, Martinez is an 8. Andy Mitten's holding back on the 9s. He's given both of them an 8. Iron Potato, thank you, dude, man, for your generosity today. You sent a super chat. You're saying if there's a Prem player who's either lost their way or underachieved, you'd like to see Erik ten Hag do a Wan-Bissaka on, who would you pick? I'd maybe go for Traore or Dele Alli. That's a really good question. A bit of a curveball. Anybody in the community? Who would you pick? If Erik ten Hag has managed to turn around Wan-Bissaka, who else could he do it with in the Premier League? Maybe I can try and find a few of your options down here after. Martinez, he's been given an 8. Luke Shaw, right? I'd probably put Luke Shaw in the same category as Raphael Varane this season in terms of players that I probably should be giving more spotlight to, but I'm not because I'm focusing on other players. I've given more focus and spotlight to Martinez and to Casemiro rather than Luke Shaw or Varane, and both of them deserve it. I'd probably go as far as to say this is, I think, the best we've ever seen Luke Shaw, and he's had good seasons at United. That year in the build-up to the Euros with England, I think he was in team. If he wasn't in team season, he could have been. Great cross for Casemiro's header yesterday. Just a very, very good footballer. Really, really just a very, very good footballer. Dominic, you're going for a 7.5. Cormac, you're going for a 7, a 9. You're going for a 9, a 6, an 8, an 8. And I personally, look, if I'm going to be giving, actually, no, I do think, like, if I'm going to be giving Martinez and Varane 9s, I would probably give Shaw an 8. Personally, I would give him an 8. So have a look down here. He's giving him a 7. 7, 8. Either way, he played fantastic. Let's move on to midfield. Fred. Yeah, how do you think Fred played yesterday? I'll be interested, actually, to know what you think here. Because I don't particularly remember. Well, Fred is Fred, right? Fred will always put himself about in midfield. Fred will always, there's always movement. He's always there. He's not a static player. The game won't just pass him by. But I think he massively got outperformed, by how good his partner was, Casemiro, obviously. But I don't particularly think that Fred played poorly in any way, shape, or form. I think he came. Did he come off for Sabitzer or was it for McTominay? I think so. Anyway, I might have got that wrong. Let me see what you're saying down here. 7. Carl, you're going for an 8. Fred, Clive, you're saying 8 for Fred. 7, 7, 6. 7s and 6s. I think a 7 would be fair for Fred. Nah, 6. 6 or 7. Maybe a 6.5 if I could choose 6.5. 7. Andy Mitten's giving him a 7. I think just I've explained it quite a few times now. There's not much point explaining it anymore. Fred, if you use him correctly in the right position, in the right scenario, is a very good midfielder. If you use him to try and play as a double pivot and you ask him to control it in midfield, he's not going to really do that. He's not going to really do that. I thought Fred played well. However, wah. I don't know what you can say about Casemiro, I suppose, at this point, that you haven't already said. It's almost unfair on other people how good he is. Really. And how much it... I think there was a quote that went out that's saying that he looks at football like a plate of food. Like, it's there, he's going in for it. I'm done. I'm going 100% every single time. And that's how Casemiro plays, isn't it? Casemiro is an all-in player. And we really do look like a very different team with and without him in it. Don't we? But what's your ratings down there for Casemiro? Let me know in the comments. If I can ask you quickly, I really should do this more often, but please drop a like on the video. And if you are new, subscribe to United People's TV. This community is going places this year because United are going back up. And you can join me for the journey. And I can't wait to cover it. Man, this channel's all been running when we've been crap for years. And finally, we can actually speak about United being good again. Let me see what you're saying down here. You're going for a 9.5. Do you see that video at full time? He's like, Bruno, why did you not pass me the ball, man? Why did you not pass the ball? Stop being greedy. No, don't celebrate the fact you just won a cup and you're 2-0. No, you have a go, Bruno, for not passing. That's funny. Mohit, you're not going for 100. I'll raise you 100. I'll go for that. $1 million? Oh, here's $1 million. 6 zeros? Yep. Not bad for a steady Eddie, indeed, Lewis. 10 out of 10. 10, 9. I'm guessing Andy Mitten's going to go for a 9, but you could argue that was pretty much a supreme. He's only giving him an 8. Woo! Andy is tough on the ratings. I would definitely be giving Casemiro a 9. And you could argue that was a pretty much perfect central midfield performance. The goal, the control, everything that he brought to that team, the attitude, the mentality. You can't really ask for much more. I would definitely give him at least a 9 for that. Moving on up. Anthony. Moving up. I swear they played that yesterday. I swear they played M people at some point. Oh, no, it wasn't them. It was in the restaurant earlier. I knew I had M people in my head for some reason. Restaurant before. It's the last time I saw my wallet. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. What do you think about Anthony? I quite enjoyed Anthony. I'll be honest. He seems to have found a couple of yards of pace. Not found a couple of yards of pace, but I quite enjoyed Anthony's performance yesterday. Showboating where necessary, skills where necessary. I thought he was a bit of a threat. I think Anthony can be happy with his performance. Let me see what you're saying down here in the comments. 7, you're going for an 8. Pavin, I wouldn't be giving him a 10. You're going for an 8, an 8. Quite a lot of 8s down here. Okay. Some of you really, really did like him then. 7s and 8s. Anthony a 7, a 6. Super chat there. Let me read that. Garlic Bread Man, who's saying Casa and Leach were both 69 out of 10. Dinner for 2. 8, 8, 8s and 7s. I would probably go for a 7. I think the 7 would be a fair number for Anthony. He's been given a 6. I think Andy Mitten's just the same as me. Just one less in every single number. Who's that? That's Bruno. What do you reckon about Bruno? Man, I love Bruno. I really. Again, I've spoken about this so many times. I found the criticism of Bruno Fernandes this season so odd, so strange. And yesterday, I think Bruno was it was like a captain. I'll tell you one thing I will say now quickly before, when that was in my head. I think it was a nice touch from Erik. From a man management perspective, I think it was a nice touch from Erik to have Maguire and Bruno lifting the trophy together. He brought Maguire on for the last few minutes, didn't he? I think that really goes to show the empathy that Erik ten Hag has as a manager. You might not think that Maguire should be doing that, but he is the club captain on paper. And I think that goes to show how Ten Hag is sort of thinking about everything and everyone. I thought that was a nice touch from him. Let me see what you're saying down here. 10, you got a man crush on Bruno. I've got my man crush on Martinez, so I'm too busy over there. Although Casemiro too. Yeah. 3 of us. 8, says Phil. Chinelli, you're going for an 8. Bruno going for an 8. 9, 7, 8.5. True captain, 8. I think, well, the majority of you are saying 8 down there. Let's see if Andy agrees with you. 7. No, Andy doesn't agree with you. I don't think any of us have got the same one as Andy, as one of Andy's ratings yet. Let me see who's next. Marcus Rashford. There was a super chat there. Let me not miss out that. 1 MUFC, you're saying 6 years of heartbreak, 6 years of banter, abuse, and whatnot, but not anymore. Thanks to Ten Hag for bringing us back to life. So happy for David De Gea. He suffered a lot with this club, mate. David De Gea has been in the trenches with this football club for a long old time. And he's protected us and stopped us falling so much further. Good to see him win that. I still stand by my opinion that I think in the grand scheme of our future, David De Gea doesn't look like he's going to be that man. But hey, Dave, prove me wrong, just like Wan-Bissaka has. And I'll happily not reverse my opinion, but if more evidence presents itself, your opinion can change and morph. Doesn't mean you're flipping and flopping. It means that you've realized, maybe I was wrong. Prove me wrong. Ricky, great super chat there. Said, thank you very much, man. You're saying Casemiro's won 9 major finals. Honestly, he is a cheat code of a footballer. An absolute cheat code of a footballer. Julie, you're going for a straight 10. Woo! Lucky Phil, you're going for a 7, going for an 8. Going for an 8. Not his best game yesterday, 7. Barry, you're going for a 9. I think I would agree with quite a few of you there. I think I go for a 7 with Rashford. But I think Rashford right there was not a 100% fit Rashford. You know how Wayne Rooney used to play, like, remember the Bayern Munich Champions League games where he did his ankle and there was no way he was going to start, and then he started in the second leg and he really shouldn't have. Rooney would always have played for Manchester United, even if he wasn't 100% fit. Marcus Rashford, I don't think was 100% fit there yesterday, but Marcus Rashford was making sure that he absolutely wasn't going to miss that game. And I think that goal's been given to him. It kind of looked like the shot was going wide. So technically by those rules, it should have been down as an own goal for Sven Botman. Either way, I'm fine with it going to Marcus Rashford, but I think I'd agree with quite a few of you down there. I'd go for a 7. It wasn't his most incredible performance, but he still got that goal. Oh, look, we actually finally agree. Me and Andy, 7 for Marcus Rashford. I think he'll be happy with it. Of course he will. I want to see Marcus Rashford left out of the squad entirely against West Ham. Just let him have the day off, man. Let him just sit in a nice recovery bath, nice sauna, chill. He needs to relax because I need him firing at Anfield because I'm looking at him to cause some pain. Oh, cause some pain. Wout Weghorst, right? You let me know. I quite liked his performance. I think it's because I feel like I'm having to defend him a little bit. And I don't really think I have to defend him after that performance yesterday. He's just a good team player, man. You can tell that he's lucked out hard. He got relegated with Burnley, sent on loan to Besiktas, and all of a sudden, he's now lifting trophies with Manchester United at Wembley. Absolutely. Lottery winner. But I'll tell you what, he's putting in the graft. There's a good super chat here from Trax. Thank you very much, man. Obviously, this comment sort of resonated with you. You're saying, when I was 18, I played in the local reserves for my country town, sat on the bench for most of the season, and we made the grand final, and the coach gave me 5 minutes at the end. I'm 44 now, and I've still never forgotten that. I think it really was, as I said, from a human perspective and empathetic perspective, I thought that Ten Hag bringing Maguire on and letting him and Bruno lift that trophy together is the definition of man management. Maguire's probably going to be leaving in the summer. Maguire's been dropped by Ten Hag. But now I think if we need Maguire at any point, and fingers crossed we don't because we've not got an injury to Varane or Martinez, that will make Maguire a better player for United and a better player for Ten Hag. Let me see what you're saying down here about Veggie. You're going down there. You're going for an 8. You're going for a 7s or 8s. 8s. Few 8s down there. I would give him. If I gave Marcus Rashford a 7, I would have to say I'll give Weghorst an 8. I would give him a 7.5. If half marks exist, I'll give him a 7.5. I'll let he's been given a 6. I can't agree with Andy or anything. I think Weghorst did exactly what Erik ten Hag asked him to do yesterday. He followed instructions to a T. Very good team player. Very good team player performance. Hey, Wan-Bissaka though, man. Wan-Bissaka. Man, that was a special second half performance. Max, thank you very much, dude, for sending in a super sticker. Awesome. Wan-Bissaka, just, again, if I'm talking about Weghorst with the team player and team performance, man, Wan-Bissaka came on and did exactly what Erik ten Hag wanted him to do. Saint Maximin was the danger man. Aaron, go on there. Stop him from being the danger man. He stops being the danger man. They got the ball in that situation so often. But Wan-Bissaka, special. It's kind of what it was peak Wan-Bissaka, wasn't it? You know, those tackles where he sticks his legs, why he's called the spider, because he's just got that incredible reach. He always looks, so often it looks when Wan-Bissaka goes in for a tackle that he's going to foul the player, but he somehow manages to wrap his leg around. I don't know how he does it. Weird. Total 180 of Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, look at that. I don't give subs a rating, but an 8. You're going for 8 or 9. You're going for 8. Genuinely, I would go as high as a 9, probably. I go as high as a 9 for Wan-Bissaka. Nah, sod that. If I'm giving Casemiro a 9, I can't give him. I'll give him an 8.5. I would give him an 8.5 if that existed. Oh, look at that. Finally, we disagree on one. Andy Mitten's gone straight 9. Straight 9 for Wan-Bissaka. Wow. What about the other subs? Sabitzer. Hey, I thought Sabitzer was really good. I thought Sabitzer made the exact difference. That's what I mean. Every single one of these players, Weghorst, did the job, did the role. Wan-Bissaka came off the bench, did the job, did the role. Sabitzer came off the bench, did the job, fit the role. I think he's been a good signing for United so far. In an area where we desperately needed new bodies, I think Sabitzer's not only just come in just to be a body, I think he's a very good footballer. I would imagine we're going to sign him in the summer if he keeps this up, because he will want to stay. Bayern Munich are probably going to go out and I imagine they might go to Jude Bellingham. Sod knows. They'll probably sign someone else. They've already got Gravenberch too, who's not really been playing much. I think Sabitzer stays at United if he's playing like this, and I think he'll want to too. Ben, you're going for 8.5, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7 and 8. So randomly, what I'm thinking about here, by the way, all the gifted memberships you're sending in, and we can somehow figure out a way on the website to do player ratings after the game, and you as a community can add your player ratings in. Then we can speak about it on live on the stream. That'd be a cool thing to do. Majority of you down here, you're going between 8s and 7s. So in that sense, we'll give Sabitzer a 7.5. What's Andy giving him? He's giving him an 8. On for Weghorst after the 69th minute. I think he deserves plaudits for that performance yesterday. Scott McTominay, I think he did very well as well. I don't think we need to speak too much about Scott McTominay, but if I'm praising Sabitzer, I would have to praise McTominay for the same sort of thing. I think McTominay did well yesterday. McTominay did a good job. And I'll tell you what, I think McTominay, in his last couple of cameo appearances, I think it was against Leicester when he came on in the second half, and there at Wembley, I think he's done a job. We all know that Manchester United, I don't think, should ever really be starting Scott McTominay in midfield again. Does that mean that he just absolutely has to be booted out of the club? No. Think he's a good squad player. Always had him down as a good squad player. I think yesterday showed he's a deep. Well, Clive, you disagree. You're saying he's gone backwards 6.5. I think it was a fair comments down here. I agree with the majority of you. I would give McTominay a 7. I think Sabitzer played a little bit better, but I don't think Scott McTominay played poorly. We finally agree on one. 7. I think he did all right. And let's see. Jadon Sancho, I don't think he came on for was he on for a few minutes? No point giving him a rating. Oh, there you go. Didn't even give him a rating. But Manchester United, League Cup winners. I'm going to go down here. Quite a few of you down there are going for 7s. Julia, wow, look at that. 3 point. Mate, that's what happens when you look. United have been in the shadows for so long, haven't we? Look at us now, man. Hey, look at us. Do you know that meme from Hot Ones? Big up Hot Ones. Big up the wings we had in the Wingmans yesterday. They were lovely. Anybody who's new, make sure you subscribe. Anybody who's new, please drop a like on the video. It makes a big difference. What a community, man. What a club. What a fucking football club. Sorry, I swore. I swore quite a few times in the podcast yesterday. I apologize about that. Got a bit excited. I'm pissed at Bruno for not passing to Sancho. I wanted that third goal. Tell you what, hardly really saw any of the game. First half, it was all down their end because United scored twice. Second half, it ended up being United defending more than anything. So that was all down the other end. How selfish. How selfish of United. I wanted to see it all in front of me, and it could have been a third goal, Bruno. You saw that little bit of Casemiro, but that's just... I'm so happy that this man is our manager. I'm so happy that I've got you as a community, and I'm so happy to sort of, I suppose, lead this community. And I just can't wait to see what follows. Gungshi, thank you very much, dude, down there, dude. Gifting 5 memberships. I can't wait to see what's coming next. I really can't. We know what literally is coming next. We've got West Ham on Wednesday. Manchester United flew back up to Manchester last night, straight back into training today. We go again. Finally, I think after the Liverpool game, we have a midweek off. It's been a relentless 5, 6, 7 weeks here on United People's TV, covering everything in Manchester United. I ran through the results earlier, but look at that. We'll say it one more time. We've got, look, 8 games there, 6 wins, 2 draws, beating Barcelona over 2 legs, winning the cup final. We knew it was a big week for Manchester United, and we've gone and beaten Leicester, knocking out Barcelona, and winning the League Cup. That is a special week for our club. Erik ten Hag saying this after the game, this is the club for me. I love Man United. And I think I'm now starting to really understand why Liverpool fans are the way they are with Klopp. Because when you get a manager that fits, when you get a manager that just slots in, it just feels different. It really, really does. And I have to say that on a personal perspective, from a personal perspective, I love the way that Ten Hag operates. I'm known by my friends and family as somebody who's quite blunt, direct. I can't be asked for small talk. I think it's a bit of a waste of time. What's the point in fluff conversation when you can just get the same thing done in a lot short space of time? That's how Ten Hag is as a manager. And it's working. And we've now lifted a trophy. Will we lift the Europa League? I wouldn't bet against United lifting that. Will we win the FA Cup? I think the way that we're playing now, our second squad, we should be able to rotate now and have a much better second team. But that photo there is iconic, man. I reckon I'm going to have to get it printed and put up on the wall. Try and get me a big HD version of that bad boy. But him. And as I said there, I'm definitely going to give that away to a member of the community. That's the scarf that was from Wembley. I brought it back with me. I'll give it out to one of you. I think that'll be a cool little thing for you. I was really hungover when I started this show. And I feel a little bit less hungover now. Thank you for that as well. Man, I think, now you might say I'm lying here, but I think I'm going to have to start, if I go to games, I might not drink. It's really hard to do what I want to do and all the work at the same time as getting plastered and just being a United fan. But yesterday, I think it was a special occasion, and it was a special day. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you very much, everyone, for making this community what it is. And remember that we are just getting started. First trophy in 6 years. Ten Hag, he's going nowhere. New owners hopefully coming in very, very soon. And once you align those two things, who knows where we can go. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for drop a like on the video if you can. All of you who gifted memberships, you're legends. I think I'm going to do a video on Casemiro for lunchtime today. What a player. What a manager. What a club. Take it easy, everyone. Another big week, by the way. 2 more games. West Ham and then Liverpool. Let's pump. Please pump Liverpool on Sunday.